Evening race fans, Urban Pirate here with Black Flag Racing TV. How is everyone this evening? It is a new tournament, another new tournament for Black Flag. I hear you cry. Yes, another new tournament for Black Flag. And this is the European GR3 Open Championship. There will be 10 races. 10 absolutely fantastic races all over the world. But using European GR3 cars. Why are we using European GR3 cars? Why not is my answer. But there's a little twist in this, in that when you drive your European car on your home track, you will get double bubble points. That's it. That's right. You heard it here correctly. Double bubble points. So we're here this evening. The first race is in the UK at glorious Goodwood. Very, very quick track. So anyone that is driving Jaguar and Aston Martin or a McLaren today, and there we have a McLaren driver right out there at the moment, you are getting double bubble points today. And the points are given out as follows for this championship. 25 points for first, 22 for second, 20 for third, and then 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, all the way down to 15th place, who gets a point. You get nothing, not a zip for pole position, but you will get an additional point for the fastest lap. That's the best you're getting out of me, and you're getting nothing more than that. So how we set up, it's in the afternoon. It is time dilation time 6. Soft and hard are the mandatory tyres today. They are on times 5 wear. Nice high tyre wear. Times 5 on the fuel. Nice and quick filling up though, 8 litres per second. Being kind. You're not going to be in the pit stops for huge amounts of time. BOP obviously on. No tuning, no boost. The slipstream is on. There is light damage. Don't crash your cars, people. There will be light damage. Off-track grip will be real. The shortcut penalties will be pretty standard. Everything else is off, apart from the flag rules, etc. Et al, et al, et al. So, where are we? We are, 15 minutes from qualifying. So that gives us some time then to have a little looky-see who we've got at the day and what they are driving. Everyone starts from zero, so let's have a little look. We've got Alpha ALTU, and Alpha is driving he's going too fast, I can't see. He's driving the Mercedes, the brilliant AMG GT3. Same car we used in the Team versus Team. Phenomenal motor that is. Avalon Shadow. We don't even need to look to know that this guy's driving a 911. If he's allowed to drive a European car, he will drive a 911. The only way we're going to stop him driving a 911 is to pick a class that doesn't have a 911, or to stop him using European cars. Kevin77, who is an absolute hoot on the comms at the minute. Anyone that's on it is absolutely pissed themselves with laughter. He is also in the 911. Wiggy has gone for the... Actually, I love that livery. Brilliant looking livery on that R8, the Audi R8. Will he live to regret that car choice? It's a beautiful looking car, but it handles like a big bag of spanners. So we'll see how he gets on with that. Wendigo, and I want to apologise, Wendigo, for calling you Wendingo the other day. You're clearly not Wendingo, you're Wendigo. You are in the Italian 458 by the looks of things from the distance. Indeed you are, Italian 458. Good choice of car. There is Guy there. He is in the McLaren. Good choice here. You're going to get double bubble points today, my friend. Etanas in the 911. Audriox, that looks to me like a Subaru. Audriox, buddy, if you're listening, that's not a European car. That is clearly a Japanese car. Now, I'm quite happy to let you race in that car for the entire season. But bear in mind, you will not get any double bubble points anywhere in this season. So if I were you, before the race starts in about 13 minutes, you need to change your car, mate, for a European one. This is a European Championship after all. There is Old Man Jay, going past someone, strangely. He's in the 911 as well. Gone for a crazy green and purple colour shift on that car. if your eyes don't hurt by the end of this, then you're doing something wrong. That is, I think, everyone. I think Cool Runnings was out there at one stage. I'm sure he's coming back. He is also in the 911. And when he does come back, you wait till you see how utterly beautiful, utterly beautiful that 911 is. All jocks just catching Alpha there with a little love tap. Kevin almost catching him all the way through as well. I have a feeling this is going to be a little bit crashy. Kevin has openly admitted he is pissed. So this could be fun. Yeah, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. So at the moment we've got 9 runners out there. We are waiting for, I think the 10th will be, I forgot his name. Oh, Cool Runnings. Cool Runnings will be the 10th. Just double checking that he is actually going to be in the room. Well, no, of course he was. I saw him earlier. What am I talking about? Of course, Cool Runnings is Runnings. Because he's cool. And that's what he does. So what do you need to know about Goodwood? Goodwood is a phenomenal track. And actually it's not so much a commercial racing track anymore. It's where they hold the Goodwood Festival of Speed. It's a demonstration track more than an out-and-out race track. It's used for a lot of events. How you doing, Arminis? Sorry, I hear Arminis. You got your Fanatec today, and then you had to go to work, and you can't even use it. Unlucky, buddy. Hope you get to play with that when you get home from work. Yeah, so Goodwood, it's not a commercial racetrack in the sort of true sense of the word of most of the others. You don't see many, certainly no many big championships here. It's a lot of racetrack days and museums and that kind of thing at Goodwood. But if you're in the UK, you have to visit Goodwood. It's a brilliant day out, whether you just go for the Festival of Speed or any one of the other massive festivals they've got. The whole grounds, not just the racetrack itself, the whole grounds of Goodwood it's a phenomenal day out, and it's a good family fun day out. If you don't enjoy it, I'd be very, very surprised. So, where is he? Has Aldrich got the message? He's in the pits. Has he gone to go and get another car? I think he may well have done because he's disappeared. So we're what, 10 minutes? Yeah, 10 minutes from the end of qualifying. At the moment, the fastest man out on the track is Alpha LTU with a 1:08.9. Now we're looking at a race pace probably at around, I suppose it depends on the pace, but around 1:11, 1:12. Really, as I said, really quick lap around Goodwood. You are on the throttle for probably about 80% of the track. You're at full pelt for a lot of it. It's a very quick track. Very few braking zones. In fact, I think there's only one, other than the chicane, there's one other hard braking zone. The rest is all kind of feather your way or lift yourself around the corner. You will find that your brake pads last a very long time at Goodwood. So Alpha LTU, and got a few of the Lithuanian guys in tonight, and so I'm looking forward to. It will be announced officially further down the line, but in September, 10th September, the Lithuanian Racing Club Championship GR3 will start, and I will be broadcasting and commentating live all 10 races of that fabulous tournament to all my new fans in the world, but particularly in Lithuania. And if someone had said to me 6 months ago that I would have a fan base in Lithuania, however small that might be, I'd be very surprised. But, you know, international as it is, what we do, this is why we reach out to countries like that. So, there is Alpha fast man on the track. Wendigo in the McLaren. That's the Ferrari. Is that the Ferrari and McLaren? They look very similar, those two cars, don't they? Let's have a looky see. I'm sure that's a Ferrari. No, it is a McLaren. It does. If you look from the back, that looks like the 458. That does look like the 458 at the back. I'm not seeing things. I think it's the colour of the car throwing me off. So he's in the the McLaren 650. Wiggy still persevering with the Audi R8. Interesting choice going for the Audi, particularly considering if you're going to be looking to get your points in Germany with a German car, you've got the Merc, you've got the Porsche, really good solid German cars to pick from. Me personally, I would have gone British, maybe go with a Jag or something. But you've got to think that it's a 10 race series. But let me run you through some of the tracks we're going to be visiting in this series. We've got a few minutes left before qualifying's ended, and I've got to fill with something. So where have we got? So we're at Goodwood today. We're at Sardenga A reverse next week. That's Italy. Then we're off to Spain for Barcelona, Catalunya. And I know TJ, if he's watching, will be very, very pleased with that, being that that's his very, very favourite racetrack in the whole world. Then we're off to Germany for the Nürburgring GP track. Not going to do Nordschleife on this. Nordschleife is planned for something else soon. Then we are... Sorry, it's not a 10 race series, it's an 8 race series. I lied. Then we're race 5. We're second half of the season. We're off to Belgium for Spa. We are then to France for St. Croix, followed by a trip just across Europe to Austria for the Red Bull Ring, and we finish the season in Switzerland at the Deep Forest Raceway. So double points available in here at Goodwood with the Jaguar, the Aston Martin and the McLaren. Then we've got double points available for anyone brave enough to use an Alfa, Ferrari or an Lamborghini, which tonight nobody has, but next week someone may jump in with one of those cars just for that double bubble. Then Barcelona, there's no Spanish cars. Don't know why Spanish people don't make cars, but they certainly don't make racing cars. Then in Germany, BMW, Mercedes, AMG, Porsche, VW, Audi. Anyone driving any of those cars is double bubble. So we're going to see a massive change to the table week 4, I think. Nothing for Belgium. And then obviously we've got the Renaults, the Peugeots and the Citroens in week 6 when we go to France. So 4 opportunities for double points. 4 different types of car will gain them, or 4 countries of car will gain them. But whatever you drive today is your choice for the season. Once you've picked it, you've got to drive it. No car changes for the season. Audriox, he's gone for the McLaren. Good choice, actually. I think being that it sets your stall out well. If you start the first race with some good double bubble points, it kind of sets the tone for everything else. So whatever the result tonight, wherever these guys, obviously they finished last, then they're not going to get the double bubble. But if you go to this race, if you win this race in a British car, you set yourself right up for this championship. But even the guy that wins it goes into week 2, not necessarily in the lead, if they didn't drive a British car. But that's going to be the beauty of this championship, is you won't know who's going to win it until we get further into the tournament. Obviously assuming everybody makes it. So where are we now? We are 4 minutes. 4 minutes for a bit of for the end of qualifying. I'll tell you what, guys, hasn't it been bloody hot today? Absolutely burning up. I haven't done much work today. I had to go and look at some work. I looked at a few little jobs today, but it was absolutely scorching. Sweating like a priest in a playground, as they would say. So we're looking there with Alpha LTU from the Lithuanian Racing Club. I'm trying to find someone who's starting a hot lap, actually. I can't even remember where the start-finish line is there. It'd be after that chicane, wouldn't it? That'd be a good place to look. There we go. So let's go on board. There we are on board with Avalon Shadow. Let's get in the passenger seat with him. So here we go. Turn 1. You're just lifting a little touch of brake maybe to help you round that corner. On that power, and then you're really not looking at your brakes now for some time. You're drifting around every corner. You want to take them as wide as possible. Just clipping the apexes where you can. Little lift, little touch of brake there, actually. I was surprised there. Another little touch of brake there. Not enough, though, on the grass. Big spin across the track. So, who's next? So Alpha through the chicane. Here we go. It's gone board with the pole sitter. Best lap was a 108.6. Just on a 108.4. So here we go. No, that's how you, why are everybody abandoning their laps, man? Let's go on with Mr. Drunky himself. He's on an out lap by the looks of things. Here he goes. He's starting a hot lap right now. Not a great start, though, on the grass coming out of the chicane. So, Kevin 77 into turn 1. Good braking there. Keeps it on the road. Right on the raggedy edge, though. Every time this guy drives, he is on the edge of crashing. And it's sometimes it's a beautiful thing to see, to be honest. Everyone's starting half a tank of fuel. So the pits window, probably going to be quite deep. I would imagine sort of 8 or 9 laps will go by before we'll be looking at any pit stops. Because it's only just over a minute a lap. So with a 50-minute race as it is tonight, going to be a lot of laps. Certainly in the 40s of laps. But Kevin off the track. No one, literally no one is setting a hot lap for me. And it's pissing me off. Where is Cool Runnings? I do not see him in the room. Where is he? As Kevin's the only man on track, we're going to stay on board and persevere. So you see here, big right-hander here. Don't need to slam those brakes. Just touch the brakes. Get you turned in. Back on the power. And this is your big braking zone here. Brake into that chicane. You want to get on the power early as possible. Use all that road and then off you go. Up the road to start another lap. You may be wondering why Kevin hasn't got the liveries on the car. He didn't realise he had to use a European car. He gets another buy. But you need to get your cars painted, buddy. Old man Jay's 911 there. There's Guy in the McLaren. Aldriox also in the McLaren. Car not showing up for some reason. Wiggy in this really, really odd pits here at Goodwood, to be fair. You can't bloody see anything. But it is what it is. Wendigo also in that McLaren. Avalon in the 911. Alpha in the Mercedes-Benz AMG. Etedas in the 911. And back to Kevin again, the only man on track. So I don't know if Cool Runnings is going to make it. Looks to me that we are going to be racing without Cool Runnings. And we are bang on, ready for the start of the race. This is the opening round from the European Open GR3. There he is, Mr. Cool Runnings makes it at the very, very death. And I'm sure Avalon, being the nice man he is, he will give him an opportunity to chuck a quick lap in and get himself on the podium somewhere. On the not the podium. What's the word I'm looking for? The grid. The grid. See, I do know what these things are called. Now, hard tyres are a requirement. Who's going to start on them? So it looks to me like Etenas is going to start on the hards. Old man Jay and Guy also starting on the hard tyres. So interesting choices to start on those hard tyres. Is that going to be a tactic that's going to work? Now, we saw it work yesterday for PM10 to an extent. And anyone that didn't see that race yesterday, oh my bloody God. What a race that was in the GRB. And if you don't want to sit and watch the whole race, which frankly it's an hour's race of action all the way through. But you've got to see the crazy, deranged lunge from to try and take first place in the corkscrew at Laguna Seca yesterday that PM10 made. It was absolutely insanity. But he did lose out and ended up third. But great race that was. I should probably catch up with the chat. There's a lot of chat here and I'm not keeping up with it, which is awful. Dennis, how you doing? If I can't pronounce your name, I'm sorry. It's not a glitch if it's too low for the first sector. It's called tough shit, Tej. Yeah, Patrick's favourite car, absolutely. Evening Rollies. Yes, good luck everyone. We're just waiting for... What are we waiting for? Who knows? We're qualified, so I think we should be racing. Let's get that button clicked. Oh, we're waiting for Audriox to enter the room. That would be quite useful. You can't start a race without everyone in. Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting race, runners. Actually, when you say about Alpha and Kevin having a hot start, well, I don't. It really depends what Kevin we get. I can tell you now that Kevin is not entirely sober. Fuel burn is ×5, Paul. It's ×5 tyres, ×5 fuel. Just how Patrick likes it. Right, so here we go. Nothing seems to be... Oh, there we go. So, it is a full start grid. Do we see anyone full start and get away clean? So, here we go. Opening round of the European GR3. And it's done this thing again where it sticks me inside a bloody car. And I have to exit and come back in order to be able to see this view. Come on, Polyphony, sort it out. You're fucking with me shit now, man. So everyone away clean. Avalon Shadow, second. Kevin 77 in third. Alpha already out in the lead. Wendigo in fourth place. Guy in fifth. Remember the McLaren runners, for them this is a big important race. This is double bubble points here for the McLaren runners. Cool Runnings in that absolutely beautiful Megan Fox 911 that I gifted him. That is probably one of my favourite all-time liveries that I did. And he asked nicely, so I kind of handed it over. Plus, I'm gonna steal his jerk chicken recipe off of him when he finally makes it to the UK. Ordrock's in seventh at the moment. Wiggy back in eighth. Surprisingly, but he's trying out a new car today, which is a ballsy move. Particularly when the car you're trying out is like driving a bag of spanners. Old Man J in ninth and Etenas in 10th at the moment in the Porsche 911. No change out in front to the top three. Pace looking relatively good. So we come to everyone pretty much on lap 2 now. This is where we start to see what the race pace is like. Who are running hard tyres. So, soft, hard. There's our first hard runner. Guy in 6th place in the McLaren. Currently matching pace. About 4 seconds off the pace of the front runner on the opening lap. You'll see people putting in purple sectors here because they've got nothing to compare to at the moment. Audiox on the softs. Wiggy on the softs. Old Man J running the hards. And Etenas also running the hard tyres. So Guy, the top hard tyre runner. Everyone else still has to run them though, remember? So here we go. Alpha is already 2.8 seconds clear of Kevin 77, who's moved up into second place, ahead of Avalon Shadow. Are we already seeing cars settling into a bit of a fuel saving while Alpha says, sod this, I'm off? He is off up the road in that AMG. And let's be fair, a 1:09.3 on the opening lap is a pretty damn quick lap. That is the fastest lap of the race. Is he going to be... Remember, you get a point for this. Point for the fastest lap of the race. Can he keep that point? Kevin 77 in second. He's actually switched last minute to the AMG himself, which for me, I think is a good choice. It's a great little car. I say little car, it's massive, it's the size of a fucking bus. But it's a great car. Avalon Shadow in the 911. Can't miss him. If he isn't driving a red and back 911, he's not driving. It's somebody else. He is 1.1 seconds back from Kevin 77. And that top three now, 1.4 seconds clear of Wendigo in fourth. He is under a bit of pressure from Mr. Cool Runnings. Mr. Cool Runnings also in a 911. Is he putting enough pressure on? Remember, very fast track. Very few overtaking opportunities. It's really about forcing the guys in front of you to make a mistake. Or hoping that they're just a bit slow or a bit squirrely through a corner. And you can capitalise on that. As we are already, I mean, look, we're 3 minutes in. And we're already looking at lap 3. This is going to be an absolute doozy of a race, I think. There is Guy. He is half a second back from Cool Runnings. These three in a bit of a battle at the moment. Wendigo, Cool Runnings and Guy. Wendigo at the moment using his power. I never see Cool Runnings with a spin off the track. Does return to the track in 6th, But Audriox also gets through. Awful spin there from Cool Runnings. Just gave it a little bit too much beans. And he is back in 7th place. So the pressure is off Wendigo now. Wendigo 1.5 seconds clear of Guy. Audriox 2.4 seconds behind Guy. And 1.2 seconds now ahead of Cool Runnings. Unfortunate spin for Cool Runnings there. He's dropping way down the order. As he decided to change his tactics now and slow that car right down. He's currently 4.2 seconds ahead of Old Man Jay. And Wiggy, it looks like Wiggy's had an issue in that R8 because he's back in 9th place. As I'm going through the order, I'm thinking to myself, surely I've missed somebody. And I have, there he is. He is, for all intents and purposes, the reigning GR3 champion. I know this is the first championship for Black Flag, but as most of us came from somewhere else, he would be the reigning champion of that GR3. So a lot to prove, but he's in the Audi R8. The M&M Audi R8. That's what I'm thinking. Why pick that car? But he's back in 9th place at the moment. He's going to have a big task from there. 1.4 seconds clear at the moment of Etanas, though. We've got 10 in the lobby. Good size number. If we can start getting 4 or 5 more people in every lobby, 4 lobbies every week will be great fun. There we see Alpha now 3.9 seconds clear. I said pit window probably about lap 8. On this pace, we're probably looking a bit sooner for this. Maybe lap 7, lap 6 even, if he maintains this kind of pace. And we see the tyre wear already starting to show on those racing softs. Kevin having a same problem. Not quite so much burning on the fuel though. 4 seconds clear of Avalon Shadow at the moment. Who is finding himself actually under some pressure from Wendigo. So Wendigo, after the issue with Cool Runnings going off, he weathered that pressure very well and went on to close up to that top 3. So that top 3 has become a top 4. Wendigo giving Avalon Shadow something to think about. We know Avalon Shadow will be, as we lighting up those tyres there, look at that. Beautiful shot. We know Avalon Shadow very good at looking after his fuel. And we can see there Wendigo already staring down the barrel of a pit stop. And I think we'll see him certainly. Look, he's making the move there. And what an overtake that was. Very brave move. Avalon Shadow finds himself off the track. Will we have a steward's inquiry on that move there? But Wendigo going racing. But it shouldn't affect Avalon Shadow too much. He'll retake that place when Wendigo pulls into the pits. Most likely, I think, at the end of this lap, he may go on one further. How's everyone else doing with fuel? So the McLaren runners, the McLaren, not very good on fuel here. Absolutely burning through the fuel. So you're going to get double bubble points, but you're going to have a lot of fuel management to do today if you're driving a McLaren. He's on the racing hard tyres, is Guy. Is he going to stay on those tyres, or is he going to make a change now and go on to the softs? The softs don't last as long as you'd like. ×5 wear. And there we go. Guy is into the pits. Alpha's into the pits. Wendigo into the pits. Kevin 77 off into the lead. We'll see him pit. I think I'm right with him. I think lap 8 will be his pit window. Avalon Shadow. I'm going to call this now. Avalon Shadow's not going to pit until lap 10. He's going to hold that car out there and do what he does best, which is lull you into a false sense of security that he's not actually that quick. Well, actually what he's doing is he's holding onto his fuel and he's letting you mug yourself off. So Audriox promoted to 3rd place. He'll be coming in the end of this lap. Alpha comes out with a pit lane penalty. Absolutely brutal, that pit lane penalty. And we're going to find out exactly how much that 3-second penalty affects you. So we're going to watch while Alpha goes through the penalty line, and then we're going to look at the difference in the time at the other side. So he goes into this, and he is 3.7 4 seconds clear at the moment. When's he going to hit this line? So he's coming up to it now. So he hits it now, and he's 3.8 seconds clear. What is the actual real-time difference? So we'll soon see. Wiggy already right up behind him. So 3.8 seconds absolutely burnt. So here, actually, a 3-second penalty is about a 3-second penalty. Yellow flag ahead. Who's that for? Kevin's in. Audriox is in. I can't see a yellow flag ahead. I know the reason why they need one. And we see who's that coming out. Kevin 77 coming out. But he comes out behind Wiggy. So Wiggy got another lap, maybe another 2 in him there. Alpha is ahead after his pit stop. So Wiggy up from what was essentially the rear of the pack, really, into 3rd place or 4th place. As you see Kevin go past him. Kevin's just refueled his car. So he's got he's going racing now on those softs. Avalon Shadow out in front, and I'm still calling it now. If he goes in before lap 10, I will eat the plastic bottle I'm drinking my current drink out of. And anyone that's going to moan about me about drinking out of a plastic bottle can go fuck themselves. It's too hot to worry about it, is what I'm going to say. There we go. I've said it. So here we are. Avalon Shadow in the lead. 6.9 clear of Alpha. Avalon Shadow still needs to pit. Alpha went in relatively early. In fact, the Mercedes runners and the McLaren runners all went in early. Wiggy hanging it out there on that Audi R8. We'll see him come in now. Just coming through that horrible chicane. Pulls off to that right-hand side in the pits. And a big spin as he goes in, actually. Old Man Jay up to 5th place. He's hanged that out there quite some time in that 911. Done a really good job. Is he going to hang it out for another lap? Yes, he is. He is going to the end of lap 9 on those tyres. Gee has been into the pits. He is still on those racing hard tyres in that McLaren. He knows how badly McLaren seems to burn through those soft tyres. So he's staying on those hards. Good choice, I think. Mr. Cool Runnings also got in. He's getting those mandatory hard tyres out of the way on that Porsche. Had an unfortunate spin on lap 3, I think it was, when he was in the battle for 4th place. But now settling into a good midfield rhythm, as we know that he can. He's a good, solid midfield runner, Cool Runnings. And for me, he's one of the benchmarks in the team. Who up ahead has had Old Man Jay? Old Man Jay has had a spin. Cool Runnings is through into 5th place. So Old Man Jay's in a decent place at the moment. He's going to come in the end of this lap. Obviously, the fuel saving not working out so well for him. Avalon Shadow putting it into the pits. Alpha will go back into the lead. But saying about Cool Runnings is a very solid midfield runner. On his day, on the right track, in the right car, this boy wins races. There's no two ways about it. But he's a good benchmark. Anyone that's not, if you're not one of the front runners and one of the general top 3, we know who we're talking about. We're talking about racers like Kevin, like Avalon Shadow, like Wiggy, like Girls in Alpha do, those kind of front runners. When you, if you are around the midfield or towards the back of the pack, your benchmark has got to be, can I beat Cool Runnings? You know you've had a good race if you finish in or around where Mr. Cool Runnings has finished. If you can beat him, brilliant, good on you. But he, for me, is a benchmark. For others, maybe you're looking at someone further up the field. But for me, I'm looking at where I finish in relation to Mr. Cool Runnings. And I judge my performance based on where he is. Now, with the pit stops, he's already up to 4th place. Exadas was in last, has pitted that early pit. Now he is now in 5th, ahead of Wiggy. And Wiggy is going to go long, long, long in this Audi R8 on those hard tyres. He is not going to pit for a very, very long time. Avalon Shadow in the pits. Wendigo in the pits. Now, because it's such a short lap, this long time in the pits, I've never been in the pits for, do we have a bug here? Do we have a bug? Are these guys back on track already and we can't see where they are? Well, I've got to say, Polyphony, sort your fucking shit out, you bunch of useless cunts. This is fucking ridiculous. It looks to me like those two are probably out on track, but we can't see them because a lot of very clever people, very highly paid people, sitting in a Japanese office somewhere, can't program a fucking lobby. But there we go. Shit happens. That's my rant over. It's too hot to moan. So I'm going to call it as I see it, and let's know that I am probably wrong, and we'll correct it when it is corrected. Paul, I'm not going to eat the bowl. Absolutely not. Because he's not back on track. So as far as I'm concerned, you went in lap 10. I can't see any better. No, you're right. The Mercs are good round there because you didn't you win round there in the Merc. And actually, if I remember rightly, Paul, didn't we have an issue with the people going to the pits before? Didn't Wiggy and Risto get stuck in the pits until they came back out the next time? But anyway, I'll call it as I see it, and we'll see. I know, it's awful, isn't it? It's doing my head in harmonist, sorry. Yeah, I think Goodwood is just a bug track. I think it is just a buggy track. But I'm not being funny. You know, if you think about how many millions and hundreds of millions they've made off this game, and they can't make a fucking lobby work, you've got to be some kind of fucking idiot. Really have. Anyway, as it looks at the moment, Alpha in the lead, Kevin 77 in second. Somewhere around them, we're going to find that Avalon is in there, and we'll find out probably after the next pit window when he finally returns back to the screens. There is Guy in third in the McLaren. Cool Runnings up to fourth place, or is it fifth, or is it third? We don't know. Etanas, he is fifth. Now running quite well on those hard tyres. First didn't go too well for him. At the back of the pack he was, but now moving forward in the midfield. Wiggy's still back in sixth, struggling with that R8. I don't know if it is bad luck, Danis. I think you'll probably find they're actually on the track somewhere. We just can't see it. We had this problem before in a race some months ago, where I think it was GR3. It was GR3 then as well, where a couple of people went into the pits and we didn't see them again until they went into the pits and came back out again. So anyway, there is Wig in sixth place, Aldrox in seventh, Old Man J in eighth, Avalon Shadow and Wendigo, sorry, I keep doing that, don't I? And Wendigo are in the pits on the screen, but they're not. They're on the track somewhere. Just Polyphony are not very good at programming a racetrack. Certainly not a Goodwood, and they haven't fixed this issue. So there we go. So we're what we done? Lap 13, 15 minutes into the race. Alpha, 4.3 seconds. He's maintaining that lead. Still got the fastest lap of 1:08.9. Very, very steady performance from him. And we know just how strong this Mercedes-Benz AMG is round. It's a phenomenal car. And I used to take the piss out of it a lot when PM10, who you can probably see on chat there, was driving it, about how big and bulky and like a bus it was. But it's surprisingly nimble for a massive car, and really good fun to drive. I think there are quicker cars out there, but it does the job. And I think the power around here makes it one of the better choices for Goodwood. But no double bubble points for Alpha today. He's in a German car. This is a British track. What about Kevin? He's in a German car. This is a British track. No double bubble for you either, my friend. If this stays as it currently is, if this top three is correct, and this is how the race finishes, this man here, Guy, will be at the top of the leaderboard because he's in a McLaren. This is his double bubble track. Mr. Cool Runnings in a German car. He won't be benefiting from that double bubble today. It's Anas, also in a 911. My driving, what's it say on the back of his car? My driving scares. Oh, I really want to see what it says on the back of the car. I'll wait till he goes in the pits and see if I can catch that. My driving scares. I wonder if I can get a view of the back of it. My driving scares me too. Oh, I love that. I should put that in my car. Very, very clever. Aldriox in sixth place in the McLaren as well. Double bubble points for Aldriox. Wiggy. And there he is. Still struggling with the Audi. Really struggling with the Audi. Can't even get it back on the track. I said this from GT Sport. It's a beautiful looking car. You can't deny it. But it's actually a big pile of shit. It's a pile of shit to drive. Not just in the game, but in real life. I know someone that's got one. And he's got nothing. He's nothing but filled with regret for the money he spent on it. It's just a fucking awful car. But there we go. Audi used to build very nice cars. Now they just build pretty cars that drive like a bag of shit. Old Man Jay, there he is in the Porsche 911. Putting Wiggy under pressure. Who would have thought we'd see that? And we've seen him go past the pits, where at the moment Avalon and Wendigo, I nearly said it wrong there, didn't I? Wendigo are currently stuck. Or are they stuck? We don't know. They're probably on the track somewhere. We just can't see where they are. Yeah, okay. Yeah, as I said, TJ, it's a problem we've had before where the spectator mode, for some reason, has left a couple of people in the pits, but they are actually out on track. Well, that's fine. We know they're on track. We'll find out where they are. If you wanna stay and chat and update everyone as to where they really are, that'd be awesome. You could be like my silent commentator. You could do the commentary for the deaf people in the chat if you like. There's your job. You got a new job, TJ. You are deaf commentary in the chat. So Alpha in the lead in the Mercedes. Kevin 77 also in the Mercedes in second place. And if this bearing in mind this guy's drunk. If this is how he drives when he's drunk, my God, it's just nuts. Drink driving laws need to change in Greece, I think. It shows him 24 seconds. Oh, they don't see them also. Hang on. If I open up the chat screen a bit more, I'll be able to see it. Okay, so that was the same bug. Is that they are still out there somewhere. We'll find out where they are, because what will happen, as happened last time we saw this bug, is they will pull into the pits again, and then suddenly reappear somewhere on the track, somewhere glorious, hopefully. There we go, Kevin 77, 24 seconds is showing at the moment, up from Guy in the McLaren, who is 16 seconds up from Mr. Cool Runnings in fourth. I'm acutely aware that these guys are probably not running in these positions. But there we go. Etanas in fifth place in the 911. Was at the back of the pack in the opening stint. And what were you, lap 17 now, 20 minutes into the race. We're not far off the halfway point. Doing a really good job of those hard tyres going very, very long. Soft tyres, how are they holding out? Oh, not great. Look at the state of the rear tyre there. There is nothing there. By the time he goes in and changes that tyre, that's going to have bits of metal sticking out of it. Everyone else seems to be running the hards at the minute. Old Man Jay on the softs already seems to have been burning through those tyres. Wiggy on the hards. Wiggy having a really, really bad day today in that car. The Audi. I think it's going to take some getting used to. He may have to put some laps in just to get used to it. What a shame. What an utter shame. So at least we know, from now on, just avoid Goodwood as a track for streaming purposes or racing purposes or any other purposes. Yellow flag up ahead. Where is the yellow flag? Was that Old Man Jay? He does look to be going slow. He's ahead of Wiggy at the moment by 1.3 seconds. So yeah, definitely an issue for Old Man Jay. We saw that yellow flag waving for Wiggy. So he goes through, does he? Is there a gap? Old Man Jay doesn't have to let him through. They are racing for position. It's not often you see this. I'm rooting for Jay here. Come on, Jay. It's we're all getting bored seeing Wiggy at the front. Let's see him battling at the back for a change with us oldies. So Alpha in the pits for his second stop. And back out again. Wendigo. Is Wendigo going to come back on track? Are we going to see him? We do. Wendigo returns to the pits. Will we see him exit the pits? That's the key. Will we see him exit the pits? Come on. Come on. He's putting the fuel in. It's taking a while. If he stays there again, I'm going to be really pissed off. He's dropping down the order now. Here we go. Wendigo coming out of the pits. Wendigo's back, baby. Wendigo is back. HKRT, Kevin 77 retains second place. Guy retains third place. But we still don't know where Avalon is. Where the hell is Avalon? We've got Wendigo back. And a big spin. Big spin from Old Man Jay. Everyone going through. And I think that means Old Man Jay is at the back of the pack. He's on those softs as well. Devastating. He's having a good battle there with Wiggy. Wiggy 14 seconds now. 15 seconds up. Cool Running still maintains fourth place. Wendigo in fifth. So we wasn't hiding in the pits. He was racing after all. And he's doing a really, really good job. Yeah, that's it. Wendigo! Aldriox, he's in sixth place. He's running that McLaren. Doing a very solid midfield race here. Guy going into the pits from third. Is Cool Runnings close enough to get through? Absolutely. Another yellow flag. Who's the yellow flag for? Did Guy clip that wall coming through? But there we go. Cool Runnings goes through. Takes third place at the moment. We're assuming Avalon is not up there. He probably is, actually. But he goes through. Wendigo is through. He's back with us and he's through onto the racetrack. Oh, we're going to see Guy coming out now. Be great to see because at the moment it shows Avalon stuck in front of him. And hopefully we haven't got that now with Guy. Have we got that problem with Guy? Is Guy now stuck in the pits for all of us viewers and the others on the track? Etenas in 7th place. He's going to come through. He's going to pass Guy. So we don't know where Guy is now. So until he pits again or the race ends, we don't know where Guy is. I think we should play a little game. What lap will Guy be on when we see him again? There we go. There's a little quiz for you in the chat. Everyone put in your estimation. What lap you think Guy will be on when you see him again? What lap will Avalon be on when we see him again? If we see him again, of course. There we go. So, 7th place. Guy, we haven't got a clue. We are going to assume 6th. Old Man Jay in currently 9th. Shang Avalon Shadow in 10th, but we know he's not there. But now, Kevin77 has taken the lead of this race. And him and Alpha are going at it in those 2 AMGs. Kevin off the track. Now, was he caught? Was he caught in the rear by Alpha? If so, Alpha's got to give that place back. Did he catch him from behind? Now, that will be interesting. From my angle, it looked to me like he did give him a bit of a nudge. But I'm not going to pass it. I've learnt from GT7 that sometimes camera angles can be very deceptive as to what really happened. So I will make my analysis after the race when I've had a chance to look at the replay. We did see Kevin going off there. We know he's got that in the locker today because he's had a few bevies. But there at the moment, they are what appears to be 26 seconds up the road from Wendigo, who finally joins us after hiding in the pits for an entire stint. Now, it looks to me that Avalon is doing a really, really, really long stint here. And staying on the track for some time. It's obviously very difficult to race against the guy when you can't bloody see him. So I don't think everyone knows exactly where they are in terms of track position. It could be that he's way out in front and those guys are battling behind him. Cool Run is currently sitting in 4th place. He's got a nice consistent pace going. The sort of anywhere from sort of a low 13 to a low 14 really, with the anomaly in there of a 15.9. He clearly had a bit of a wobble, but he's 20 seconds up from Audriox. Audriox was a very bad lap last lap. He's been very consistent in the low 13s, but he's had a bad lap with 18.2. Etenas again, very similar pace. All of these guys, very similar pace. So Avalon's on lap 23. So you think he's going to come out on lap 23, and you think Guy on lap 32. I don't know, Mantri. It looked to me, I didn't see the initial overtake from Kevin on Alpha, but it looked to me that Alpha did catch him in the rear and pushed him onto the grass. But I know some of the camera angles here on GT7 can be a bit deceptive, so I'm not going to call it until I've seen it properly. And all jocks will attest to that because I thought he'd wiped somebody out and I called him all the names under the sun on the stream, and it turned out that he'd actually been shunted from behind and did nothing wrong. And I apologise again for that because I think I called you a knobhead or something like that at the time. But there we go. So all jocks in the pitch, please come back out. Let's not watch them. Let's just hope they come back out. Alpha back in the lead, 13 seconds up from Kevin. If it is a judge that he has given him a nudge, well, we'll have to see. We'll go to the stewards. The stewards will decide, and they'll decide obviously an appropriate penalty for that. If he knows that he did it, if he didn't, he knows that he did it, then giving the place back is the easiest way to avoid a penalty. So Kevin into the pits. Let's not watch him in the pits. Excuse me. Let's not jinx him. Wendigo third. He's just lapped Old Man Jay. Etanas in 4th place. 28 seconds behind. So I think we're going to see Wendigo go through. We are indeed. It's now showing him as second on the track. Kevin coming out in 3rd. Etenas in 4th place at the moment. 51 seconds behind the top three currently, because we don't know where Avalon is going to pop out. But was it lap 23 you called? Paul, you said lap 23. Let's see. I think we're going to see Avalon later than that. I think 25, 26. I think he's going to go for a really short final stint. We'll see though. Cool Runnings. There he is, up in 5th place at the moment. Wiggy really struggling. I feel for you, mate. You are. It must be hard being in a car that you're not used to. Why is the yellow flag? What's going on up ahead? Who's crashed? Can't see who's crashed. No one, obviously. Yellow flags have gone. So Wiggy, 22 seconds back from Cool Runnings. He brought a gun to brought a knife to a gunfight today, didn't he? Unfortunate for him. And there he is, Avalon Shadow, finally returns to our screens as he pulls into the pits. You were out by, well, he said lap 9 there, we'll find you. You were out by a couple of laps, Paul. What did I say? So it's 25, 26. So if he's on lap 25 when he comes out, I win! But there we go. So, Guy in 4th place. Avalon Shadow down to 5th. Where is he really? He's really in 5th. Really in 5th. But that's only his 2nd stop. So, let's have a look. We haven't got a chance to look at some of the pace here. He hasn't got any screen time at all because he's been hiding in the pits. But look at some of that pace. Some really good pace there in that stint. And he's gone a lot longer. A lot longer than everybody else. He is going to the end of this race on these tyres with this. So he's not going to disappear in the pits again. He is racing. What about everyone else? Alpha. Just coming up to lap Cool Runnings. Cool Runnings just moving over onto the gravel there. Very quick pace from Alpha. 38 seconds. 38 seconds up from Wendigo. What is going on? Absolutely melting this. 108.9 is the fastest lap. That's an additional point for him. If, of course, that doesn't get beaten. I can imagine that Kevin is biting his own fingernails. As Mr. Cool Runnings makes a move up into 6th place. So as we're watching the leader lapping Etanas, we watch Cool Runnings pick up that slipstream and get through up into 6th. Did he catch Etanas napping? Was he not looking in his mirrors? Did he not realise that Cool Runnings was so close behind him? Great opportunist move there from Cool Runnings. So Wendigo, they're in 2nd place. Run a very good race that we didn't get to see much of when he was pit bugged. But there he is. He's 12 seconds up now from Kevin, 77. And we see a Wiggy off the track again. Having an absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare in that big bag of shit Audi R8. Shouldn't even be in a game because it's that bad. In fact, I would rather drive a Samba bus in a GR3 race than a big piece of shit Audi R8. There you go, I've called it. Guy in 4th place. Currently showing good pace as well in 4th. Will he have to pit again? I don't think he can. I'm not sure the McLaren can handle taking that to the end. There's still 20 minutes of this race to go. He's going to need to pit again. Alpha's going to need to pit again. Wendigo definitely going to need to pit again. Kevin possibly could be going long here. So Wendigo and Alpha should be looking out for him coming behind them when they go into the pits. Guy, we know is touch and go. I think he's going to have to pit again. Avalon Shadow, I'm telling you now, calling it 100%, he's going to the end without question. I see it. You know what, Paul, it's an awful car. I said it in GTS, it was an awful car, and in this game, it's even worse. The handling is worse in GT7. If that were even possible, the handling is worse in GT7 than it was in GTS on that Audi R8. But it's like that in real life as well. It's a bag of shit to drive in real life. It's basically like climbing to a big bag of broken spanners and trying to get it around a corner without any wheels. So Avalon Shadow comfortably, I think, in 5th. He doesn't have to pit again. I think we could see him certainly challenging for the top 3 towards the end of this race. We're on lap 27. We're 33 minutes in. We're probably looking at about 40 laps by the end of this race. Cool Runnings there, up into 6th place. We saw a fantastic move on the last lap, getting himself up from 7th into 6th place. Etanas in 7th. They are 35 and a half seconds up the road from Audriox. Audriox currently running in that McLaren. Wiggy having an absolute nightmare today.
Hotter in here than it is out there.
Yeah, absolute nightmare he's having today in the Audi R8. But not quite as bad a day as Jay seems to be having in that Porsche. If there were ever a day that Jay could try and dial a car in and catch one of the faster guys, today was it. But it's just not working for him around Goodwood in this Porsche. But it will come, Jay. You know, it's all about experience and practice and practice. You'll get there, mate. I've no doubt about that at all. You certainly got better pace than me. We were talking about it earlier. You know, you got better as it goes from 1 lap pace. You've got better pace than me. If you can get a little bit more, I mean, like, I'm not the most consistent in the world, but if you can get a little bit of my consistency with your pace, I've got no doubt we'll be seeing you in the midfield very, very soon. Fastest man on the track, and really been the unbeatable guy today. He's nearly 40 seconds clear. Is 40 seconds enough for his pit stop though? Not sure. Scared to watch the pit stops because every time we watch a pit stop, people seem to disappear for entire stints of this race. So let's avoid Goodwood like the plague from now on. The thing is Goodwood's a great track, absolutely fantastic racing track to race on. But if we can't have good footage from the race, what's the actual point? And I apologise for the crazy voices in the background. That is my family who have just got back from walking the dog and are bloody loud. Wendigo, there he is. He is currently running second. He's 13 seconds clear of Kevin. He's going to have to pit in another 2 or 3 laps. And then he'll go to the end on the softs and probably be a little bit racy on those softs. As will, well, I think actually we'll see Alpha going in the next, probably this lap I think we'll see him go in. He doesn't tend to sort of push it too long. So we'll see just how lucky we are. Wendigo going in. No, he's not. I thought he was just going to pull over to the right and go into the pits. A little bit early for me if he had done. Kevin 77. Is he going to stretch this out? He's certainly dropped off the pace a little bit. And he's got Guy for company. We know Guy's got a pit again. But he's currently putting Kevin under some pressure. Now, is Kevin going to play the long game here, knowing that he can possibly stretch this to the end and let Guy through? But he doesn't know what strategy he's on. He doesn't know that Guy has got a pits again. He certainly doesn't know what tyres he's running. They're both currently on the hards. As we see, there we go. I called it right. Alpha into the pits. Does Wendigo get through? Guy making a move up the inside. On the grass. Loses it. Trying to pull off a crazy move up the inside. Does he lose another place to Avalon? Avalon's only a lot closer. So we see. Where is Kevin? It looks to me that Kevin has disappeared. Has Kevin had a genuine disconnection there? Or is that a little bit of I'm a very drunk rage quit? We will find out shortly. Hope that wasn't a rage quit, mate. I normally think better of you than that. If that was, well, what can we say? Wendigo into the pits. There is Guy in 3rd place now. 21 seconds back. Certainly close enough to take second from Wendigo. But we know that he still does need to go in for another stop. Does he brave it now? When he knows Wendigo's in. And then he's got an exact figure to head for. He's going to carry on up the track actually on those hard tyres. But Alpha's running the hards again to the end. Is it because, I think it's just because the AMG is so brutal on those soft tyres. And he doesn't want to put himself in a difficult position. Although that difficult position has disappeared from the race, unfortunately. So Avalon Shadow promotes to 3rd place. And we know that he is going to the end without question. He has just lapped Wiggy. We're used to seeing these two on the screen, but usually they're racing each other. Today, Wiggy is in the R8, which is a decision I think he is already regretting. And will regret over the next 7 races, I think. Etanas and Cool Runnings having a great little battle here. It's been between these two for some time. Cool Runnings gets in front. Etanas gets back in front again. Cool Runnings in front again. And there we see Etanas in front. And who is that yellow flag? What is going on up ahead? Someone else off the track. Was that Wiggy yet again? Doesn't look to be. Maybe it was Old Man Jay, but someone up ahead of that battle was off the track. And Etanas, we see him There he is. They're both lapping Wiggy by the looks of it. So him and Cool Runnings. Aldriox in 6th place. 44 seconds behind that battle. Is there any real opportunity for him to close up on that? And do we have it? We do. We have Wendigo with another pit bug. We are not going to find out where he finishes until the end of the race. What an absolute crock of bollocks. But, you know, we live and learn. Don't go to Goodwood if you want to stream a race. Well, in fact, don't go to Goodwood if you want to have a race, because the guys out there can't see them either. So Wiggy in 7th. Wendigo is somewhere in the top 5. We can't tell you where. And we won't see him again now till the end of the race. Old Man J will be in 10th place, of course. Gap not changed that front, 34 seconds. He's had his stop now. He's put an awful lot of fuel in for the last 10 minutes of this race. Or last 10 laps of this race, should we say. Because it is going to be about 10 laps. 9 laps, maybe. Well, what are we, lap 33? I think lap 42 will be the completion lap of this race. Guy in the pits, please come back out. Avalon Shadow promotes up to 2nd place. Guy now has to chase him down. We know Avalon's going to the end without question. Let's say that, Paul, but we don't often see him with internet issues, and he was having a bad day at the office today. But look, you know, it's not like he's got form for it. We'll put it down to Dutch courage, shall we say, of which he's imbibed somewhat a lot, and then we'll just move on. You know, he's got over half distance. He will get some points, just obviously not as many as he would have liked. So Avalon Shadows, 46 seconds back from Alpha. Can he catch him? Not sure that he can. He is 9 seconds ahead of Guy. Guy got a lot of work to do, and he's on those hard tyres as well. He could have gone onto the softs. Obviously didn't feel, but we did. To be fair, we did notice that the McLarens and the AMGs really struggled on those soft tyres at this tyre wear, and were burning through them very quickly. So maybe the hard tyre was the better choice there. But he is 9.3 seconds back from Avalon. If he wants to move up a step on the podium, he's got a lot of work to do. Cool Running's 2.6 seconds back. He's ahead of Atenas again. And Atenas, has he had a problem? Because he is 22 seconds back. Did he? I think he must have jumped into the pits. Has Cool Runnings underfueled? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say that he can't make it to the end of this race with that on board unless he is fuel map 6 for the rest of this race. And if he's fuel map 6, Etanas on soft tyres with high protected fuel is going to catch him. But then it might be touch and go with that Porsche as well. Aldriox, 44 seconds back. He's not going to make up that deficit on the guys in front. Can he stay ahead of Wiggy? Can Wiggy, to say that, he's off the track yet again in the Audi. I say can Wiggy move up the order, but he just can't. He can't get anything out of that Audi. And I have a feeling he's going to be crying out for a car change. I don't know what to say. That Audi seems to be a poor choice for anybody. I feel for you, man. I really do feel for you, because I hate that car too. But there we go. It is what it is. So there is Alpha coming up to lap. Guy in 4th place. This just shows, I mean, it's a little bit skewed in terms of pace because it's only a 1 minute lap. You know, we're not talking about a hugely long lap here. So to be lapping the guy in 4th place when you're 50 seconds clear, pretty damn obvious. But his pace today, he's been unassailable, absolutely unassailable. But yeah, 50 points clear. 50 seconds, not 50 points clear. He can't possibly be 50 points clear. We haven't finished the race yet. Avalon Shadow, 13 seconds back. I did get worried then when the time's been. I thought Alpha might have spun off into the abyss. He is 13 seconds up from Mr. Cool Runnings, who is now up into 3rd place. Why is he up into 3rd place? I hear you cry. Because Guy is down into 4th. Why is Guy down into 4th? You must have had a spin. That's all that could have happened. Etanas now in 5th. He's chasing down Guy. He's 11 seconds back from that battle. Guy will go to the end without question. The one question we do have to ask though, can Cool Runnings make it? Can he fuel map this car home? Be a very, very good result for him if he does. And comes back in 3rd place. Although we are assuming that Wendigo is not actually in that running up there. We don't know. We are yet to find out. So currently looking at Guy is in 4th. Etanas in 5th place. Audriox comfortably in 6th. Wiggy not finding the pace in that car to close the gap on Audriox. But Old Man Jay equally not finding the pace in the Porsche. Although he's done a few kind of mid-14s, low 15s. See, when Wiggy dials it in, look at that pace. 12.3, 13.2. That is comparable pace with certainly not Alpha, he's been ridiculous, but with Avalon, quicker than Cool Runnings, quicker there mostly than Guy. But I think the issue has been when you push this car to the limit, it just doesn't stay on the road. It is all over the place. That I think is the problem with this car. Is it doesn't matter how fast you can make it go. If you can't keep it on the track, it's a pointless exercise. Some blue flags coming for who? Are they coming for Wiggy? Well, no, he's miles ahead of anyone else at the moment. But where are we? So there we go. Alpha. These guys got every right to unlap themselves. Are they going to do it? Guy and Cool Runnings in a massive battle here. Absolutely ding-dong battle. And Alpha, the race leader, is actually getting in the way of this battle for 3rd and 4th. It's actually him being there, I think, is hindering this battle. Very, very interesting. What we need Alpha to do is use some of that blistering pace and to pull away from this fight between Cool Runnings and Guy. Avalon Shadow in 2nd, just behind this battle. Well, I say just behind, he's 55 seconds behind. But Cool Runnings was in 3rd. Guy back up into 3rd. This battle is not over. This is going to the wire. Wiggy getting to watch this battle play out in front of him. Is he going to allow him to unlap himself? Look at this Cool Running, gets a very Cool Runnings at him after the chicane. Wiggy with an even better run. He's going to unlap himself. What a battle this is. Cars unlapping themselves. 3rd and 4th place getting held up by 1st place for their battle. Absolutely phenomenal. So Alpha and Avalon Shadow are the only two that are going to finish on the lead lap. Or not even both of them. But the only two that haven't been lapped, essentially. Everyone up to Guy has been lapped on this race. But we still don't know where Wendigo is. Where is Wendigo, may we ask? If anyone knows Wendigo and is in contact with him, could you tell us where he is? It'd be really interesting to know where on the track he currently sits. Because he knows where he is, just nobody else does. Absolutely losing my voice. Couple of doozies of races. So what did I say? I said lap 42, 43. I think I'm wrong. I think lap 40. Changed my mind. Here we go. So, I mean, I think Alpha will probably be on lap 57 by the time we finish with his bloody pace. But he's 58 seconds clear. Avalon Shadow now 17 clear of the battle between Guy and Cool Runnings, which has just opened up a little bit to 3.6 seconds. Wiggy managing to unlap himself and getting in between that battle seems to have called that battle off. As Guy comes up to lap Audriox. That's the thing with these short tracks. There he is. He's round Audriox relatively easily. No point Audriox holding him up. That's not his race. Audriox at the minute is just trying to keep Wiggy at bay. And I said Wiggy was out of this. Wiggy has turned his shit on. He's got that Audi dialed in now. And if you can keep it on the track, here is a battle for 6th. It's a difference in only a couple of points. But when you're down that end of the order, it's just necessary. You've got to get it done. You've got to try and gain that extra place. Can he? He does. He makes that move. He makes it stick. Is Audriox able to come back at him? Not so far. So Wiggy in that R8. Has he finally found the pace in that car that has been so lacking, or the consistency in that car that has been lacking for this whole race? Because look, we can see there's pace in there. There's just not been consistency in there. Has he finally found that consistency? If he can find that consistency, can he turn this car into a race-winning car over the next 7 races after this one? This is an 8-race series, remember, and there's still loads and loads to play for. There's still loads of double points to be had. But there we see Wiggy up into 6th, just in the tail end of this race, starting to turn things on. So here we go, Alpha on lap 41. He will start what I think may just make a lap 42. Or is this his last lap? Is he going to slow down and make this his last lap? We'll certainly have a look now. And then we'll find out, we'll finally find out where Wendigo is. It's a case of Wendy stop at the moment, apart from Wendy go. So, Alpha coming through. Is he going to wind the clock down, or is he going to go for it? I think he's winding the clock down. Yeah, he's winding that clock down. And there we go. That is the end of the race. He crossed the line. Alpha wins by some margin. And everybody else from Gee backwards, suddenly their race is over. It actually might have been a little bit fairer. I suppose it wouldn't have made a blind bit of difference because it's time-based. Mr. Cool Runnings finishes from what looks like 3rd above Etanas and Gee. Avalon Shadow, he will come home in 2nd. Or will he? Where is Wendigo? Where is he? We've got to see where he finally finishes. I certainly hope it shows where he finishes. Otherwise, we're going to have to rely on his honesty. Because no one else knows. So Wendigo finishes in 2nd place. There is a Wendigo was 2nd. So he was further up than we thought. And Avalon Shadow will finish in 3rd place on this final lap, lap 41. So there we have it. There is your final order. Alpha from Wendigo, from Avalon Shadow. Cool Runnings in 4th. Etanas in 5th place. Gee finishes in 6th. Wiggy in 7th place. Best he could get out of that car was 7th. Aldrox in 8th. Old Man Jay in 9th place. And Kevin 77 will classify last. I won't classify at all. I'm just here for the shits and giggles. So there we go. Another, do you know, a great race. A great race ruined by some poor coding. But a great race anyway. We didn't get to see Wendigo get his top 3, and he is still in the pits. He's still not racing. But overall, what a great race. Really, really pleased with the outcome. I think everyone raced pretty fairly. We will have a little look at that coming together between what looked like coming together between Alpha and Kevin. And a decision, if there is anything there to be had, we'll make a decision on that at some stage. But other than that, what a race. So there is your winner, Alpha, by 41 seconds from Wendigo, from Avalon Shadow. There's your top 3. Mr. Cool Runnings 4th, Etanas in 5th, G or Gee, I don't know what you have to tell me, in 6th, Wiggy in 7th, Aldrox 8th, Old Man Jay in 9th, Kevin 77 with his disconnection in 10th place. That is it. That is the end of round 1 of the European Open GR3. I'm looking forward to this one. The GRB is very good. This one, in fact, do you know, at the moment, it seems every race we do is really close. Some really good battles, really fair racing, but really, really good and really entertaining stuff. So what are we doing tomorrow? Nothing. I think we're just going to have a piss around and get drunk tomorrow. That generally seems to be what happens on a Friday. On Saturday, we're back for Black Flag Bullshit round 6. I think we're back round 5. 8 p.m. Live. Well done, Alpha. Pole position as well. He also got fastest lap, so just don't bother that. Live on Black Flag Racing TV, right here with me. So I've been Urban Pirate. This has been Black Flag Racing TV at the Black Flag European GR4 Open here at glorious Goodwood. with some thrills, some spills, some overtakes, and some awful coding. That's it. Catch you all later. It's been highly emotional. Thank you very much. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining me on the chat today. Sorry I wasn't more active with the chat. My laptop screen is very small and very far away from my face, and I can't see it very well. I'm eyeing up one of my son's additional curved screens that's been sitting in a corner gathering dust for a couple of days. I'm going to give him a couple more days to reclaim it, or it's going up on the wall and the laptop's getting plugged into it. But anyway, that's it. I'm off. Laters.
I've never been the one to gluttony, but baby, being with you makes me hungry. Oh, too many lost fingers, and baby, that smell always lingers. Oh, that stench. Oh, how it lingers. Oh, how it lingers. And you're the one for me. You're still a close pick, baby. Feed. And I'm not the one who pushed away. It was you, it was you, it was you. And don't be scared, let yourself go. I'm not the judge, that's you alone. And don't be scared, you know. I'm not the one, it's you and score.
Don't you come in here with your hot, greasy bags and tease me.
Oh, that's